Have you ever felt the cold grip of inevitable loss, the coppery taste of blood mingling with the acrid smoke of gunfire, your heart pounding like a war drum as shadows of comrades fall around you, forcing a reckoning with sacrifice? The terror that your deepest bonds might shatter for a greater dawn, the desperate hope that from ruin blooms unbreakable resolve? Have you ever awakened from a frozen nightmare, the chill of stone encasing your limbs, the faint echo of a distant voice piercing the silence like a lifeline, stirring the primal fear that death is but a pause, and hope lies in the fragile alchemy of revival, reminding us that identity endures not in flesh, but in the unbreakable will to rebuild? It's the eternal human wrestle with mortality, the dread of eternal stasis, the defiant spark that sacrifice can shatter even the hardest bonds, much like the cryogenic dreams of explorers preserved in Arctic ice, awaiting thaw, or the harrowing resurrection in Frankenstein where life defies the grave's cold grasp. In episode 21 of Dr. Stone, Science Future, released on September 4, 2025, as the series barrels through its South America arc's cataclysmic nadir toward the petrification's cosmic riddles, Senku's kingdom of science confronts the abyss of annihilation, where defeat's shadow yields to a glimmer of audacious renewal. Feel the unyielding weight of petrified forms against your skin, the metallic hum of devices vibrating in the air, the acrid scent of scorched earth lingering like regret. From the first shattering crack, the episode envelopes you in a tomb of tension, whispering, "What if the end is merely a prelude to rebirth?" The enigma hardens like stone around your curiosity, unresolved until you break free and watch, because some awakenings demand your own pulse to quicken the thaw. Rising from episode 20's brutal onslaught, where Stanley's forces decimated Senku's vanguard in a hail of gunfire, leaving heroes fallen and plans in ruins, this chapter transmutes despair into desperate ingenuity. Allies in distant Corn City race to unlock the Medusa's secrets, while the core team grapples with the aftermath of carnage, culminating in a global cataclysm that redefines survival. Joel's pivotal breakthrough intersects with Senku's shadowed schemes, blending frantic craftsmanship with echoes of past petrifications. It's evocative of historical last stands, like the Alamo's defiant hold amid overwhelming odds, or the phoenix-like resurgence in the Matrix revolutions where code rewrites fate. Yet here, you're sealed in the stone's embrace, the faint green glow prickling your vision, the distant signal buzzing like an omen in your ears. What voice subverts the doom? How does a single spark ignite worldwide salvation? The shards embed like unanswered prayers, igniting a curiosity that compels you to witness the full resurrection, not as gifted knowledge, but as the hunger to emerge from your own stasis. Episode 21 hurdles the narrative into the South America arc's transformative depths, pivoting from visceral defeat to strategic resurrection by leveraging the Medusa's global activation as a reset button against Stanley's onslaught, advancing the overarching quest to unravel Y-Man's mysteries while underscoring science's role in defying extinction. Key revelations expose the petrification's dual nature, curse turned cure, with twists in voice-mimicked commands that subvert enemy plans, ending on a cliffhanger of universal stasis that teases revival's uncertainties. Pacing masterfully contrasts, languid in Corn City's methodical breakthroughs to build empathy, explosive in the Amazon's carnage for raw impact, achieving a dramatic balance that elevates tension without overwhelming. Fan confusions often crystallize around the cloudy aspects of global petrification mechanics. How does one Medusa encompass the planet when earlier arcs implied multiple devices for coverage? A vagueness the anime amplifies through chilling visuals but clarified in the manga's chapter 191, Our Dr. Stone, where Senku's team exploits Y-Man's automated signal, mimicked via radio tech, to command a singular, amplified activation, drawing from prior experiments showing the device's voice. Trigger scalability. Chapters 189 to 190 provide deeper context, detailing the battery's nanoscale diamond integration for sustained power, resolving ambiguities like revival fluid's post-trauma efficacy by analogizing to cryogenic healing, tissue repair upon depetrification, as seen with Tsukasa's prior revival, transforming the animated despair into a researched pivot toward cosmic confrontations, informing the saga's ethical tech explorations with precision. Senku's psyche fractures under the weight of command, his hidden wounds of isolation, echoing paternal echoes with Zeno, motivating unyielding faith in science, consistent yet surprising in vulnerable transmissions that transform him from detached genius to beacon of collective hope. Joel emerges as an unsung pillar, his motivations rooted in redemption evolving into transformative expertise, while Jen's raw grief unveils scars of imposter syndrome, his choices surprising in their emotional authenticity. Taiju's stoic sacrifice, Kahaku's fierce loyalty, and Luna's conflicted screams reveal growth through vulnerability, dialogues uncovering motivations that feel profoundly human amid apocalypse. The episode probes resurrection's ethics. Can we cheat death without losing our essence? essence, or does power's grasp erode morality's core? Sacrifice manifests in fallen heroes' final stands, pitting despair's void against hope's flicker, Senku's ideology as salvation, echoing existential queries on humanity's rebirth from ashes. Expanded lore on Medusa's command protocols complicates the universe, introducing rules like signal amplification for planetary scale, enriching it by fusing alien enigmas with human hacks for a denser, morally fraught stone world. The script resonates with poetic gravity. Lines like, "This is our Dr. Stone," foreshadow Unity's triumph, lingering like Einstein's warnings on atomic duality or the defiant oaths in Gladiator amid arena sands. Sharp and cliché-defying, it weaves exposition, e.g., "The signal becomes our salvation," into charged pleas, immersing you in the petrified hush, words echoing like cracked stone, inciting, "What echoes would you broadcast in your darkest hour?" The intrigue petrifies, drawing you to seek the episode's resonant core. TMS Entertainment's art direction scorches with visceral force, fluid carnage contrasting ethereal green glows, symbolic crimsons bleed into shadows of loss amid jungle verdancy, lighting shattering like hope's revival, stillness in petrified poses amplifying movement's chaos. Beauty here resurrects as defiance, emotional impact forged as visuals etch sacrifice's permanence, pulling you into the stone's cold veil. Camera angles plunge into gore's intimacy, composing shots that amplify futility. Wide global sweeps underscore isolation, tight anguished faces heighten despair. Editing rhythms fracture like bullets, mirroring turmoil's shatter, evoking Spielberg's raw immersions in Saving Private Ryan. The OST emerges as a spectral savior, haunting with dissonant swells that elevate doom to dawn, crescendos searing the activation into memory. Silence post-slaughter wails louder, a void pregnant with rebirth, enfolding you in the episode's resonant eclipse. Yusuke Kobayashi's Senku quivers with veiled intensity, his timbre embodying a mind's unyielding echo. Kana Ichino's Luna screams with raw tremor, while Makoto Furukawa's Taiju grounds agony in stoic depth, voices resurrecting souls as if calling from your own encasement. This episode rends with the finality of loss, kindling wonder in revival's alchemy. I personally felt Jen's sobs mirror my own grapples with impermanence, lifted by Joel's spark amid eclipse, a collision of destinies that transmutes endings into eternal beginnings. It binds to timeless riddles. In Stasis's grip, what do we reclaim upon awakening? You're there, form rigid in stone, the green wave washing over you, a subverted signal humming promise. Yet the pivotal thaw beckons, unresolved, urging. Will you shatter your own shell for such renewal? The resonance is in case, compelling you to watch and emerge. Reverse reading reframes the episode's graphic opacity, potentially jarring gore, as deliberate immersion in war's brutality, enhancing themes of sacrifice's cost. Pacing's relentless descent might overwhelm, but it mirrors defeat's spiral. Complexity in mechanics could confuse, yet it invites rewatch for layers. I didn't like the muted drama in some deaths, diluting impact, but it serves narrative restraint. Balanced, the cathartic highs eclipse minor shadows, yielding a masterful requiem. Episode 21's strengths crystallize in its thematic resurrection, visual gore's poetry, and character catharses, with weaknesses in occasional restraint that nonetheless deepen its chill. It excels in artistic and narrative goals, alchemizing apocalypse into inspirational odyssey. I anticipate cosmic awakenings ahead, struck by its petrified brilliance. But as the green fades to stone silence, one enigma hardens like an uncracked shell. What dormant self awaits your revival, if only you'd command the light? Watching isn't escape, it's the inevitable thaw, the next fracture in your soul's eternal stone.